During this video, I'll be filling in the blanks of events that happened over the last 17 months. Yes, I am pushing fast forward for you. It's been kind of a wild ride, but in a good way. For those that are new here, welcome. And for those that are returning, thank you for your interest in my very inconsistent vlog. My last video left off with my return from Hawaii to Portland, Oregon with my van named Homie. From there, I caravan with Johnny through Oregon, stopping in Sand Lake, Oregon to camp in the sand dunes. Then followed the coast down to the Redwoods National Park, where we got to see elk roaming in broad daylight. And of course, before leaving, I made sure to hug as many trees as I possibly could. Then we booked it to Sacramento, California to fly out to Gulf Shore, Alabama. Well, we actually flew to New Orleans first, and then took a bus, and then took a Uber to Gulf Shores, Alabama. It was quite a journey to get there, but it was totally worth it because it was my first time meeting Johnny's family, which was really special in a lot of ways. For those that don't know our story, we actually met on Facebook Marketplace in 2021 when I lowballed him an offer on his bus named Sally. Needless to say, he did not accept my offer, but he did stick around in my DMs. We returned to Sacramento. We of course jumped right back into the adventure, starting with skating, skiing, and sledding. The cold grew old pretty quick, so I headed south from there, stopping in San Francisco to visit with a friend from high school and a dance friend to experience the local Latin dancing community. Then stopped in Gilroy, California at a state park where I got to witness an abundance of deer, hogs, and turkey, and then finally made it to the most southern part of California, San Diego. Lucky for me, I have a friend from work named Erica who lives in San Diego and offered to show me all around. She toured me all around the city, and I really got to experience the culture and really loved it, to be honest. Probably my favorite city in California. I set up camp at Tijuana River Valley Regional Park. It's a very unique location that is right on the border of San Diego and Mexico. There's actually an area on the beach where you can walk out and see Mexico. So it's pretty unique and a really interesting location to be. It was super clean, and I'd definitely go back if I was in the San Diego area. And it's pretty close to the city, about 20-minute drive, so not bad at all. Johnny arrived a few days after me, and for reference here, the time of year was December of 2022. So we ended up spending Christmas and the New Year in San Diego, and I ended up being there for almost a whole month. During that time, we went on a sunset cruise, stayed in a cute little Airbnb for a couple days, and then my best friend from Miami, Florida, flew in to visit me, and she stayed in my van for 4 nights, you guys. 4 nights. My city friend did really well. She didn't appreciate having to cuddle up with me every night in the van, but overall, we had a blast. Given I missed 3 major holidays with my family, being Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the New Year, I was feeling a bit homesick, and it was time for me to start heading back to Florida. But there was one more adventure of a lifetime to be had first, and that was my mom joining me in my van for 7 days. She flew into Phoenix, Arizona, and drove with me from there. I can't.
Look at that guardrails falling down! Left! I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Oh my God, I'm the one who's driving here.
Shit.
To Albuquerque, New Mexico, where she got to visit one of her dear childhood friends, and we made lots of stops along the way, which included tons of hiking and exploring, and of course lots of chit-chatting and laughs. These memories will be forever ingrained in my mind, and I'm so grateful for them. I dropped my mom off at the airport in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then made it back to Florida in record timing. I was driving about 5 to 6 hours a day, so I did it really quickly. At the time, I was also feeling a little burnt out from all the moving around, and I was craving the consistency of a shower. Still wanting to live in nature, I ended up here. So I live in a shed in the woods. Okay, that sounds crazy, but the shed was already partially converted. There were some much needed renovation, which included putting in an actual kitchen sink and plumbing in a pump so that I had consistent water flow, which aka I needed a shower, so that was very important to me. So it's been a year since I've lived here, and a lot has happened in that time frame. Johnny and I traveled to an island in Honduras called Utila, where we got PADI scuba certified, which was something that was on my bucket list only my whole life. So it was a big accomplishment for the both of us. I started a new position for a nonprofit healthcare organization and traveled to Puerto Rico to tour a university. And I'm sure you're wondering what happened to Homie. So I sold my van to a really cool young woman who's a rock climber and loves to travel and is super excited to experience all her own adventures in Homie, just similarly to how I did. But that didn't stop me from road tripping this year. Johnny and I took his truck to Tennessee, Georgia, Kentucky, and North Carolina for a little over a month. It was super fun. We went paddleboarding and hiking and rafting. Because we are Floridians, we really thought it was important to actually camp in some of the state parks that we have here. So this year we went to 4 state parks in Florida, some of them multiple times. So Hannah Park up in Jacksonville, we went multiple times, and Silver Springs in Silver Springs, Florida. We went to Mayaca State Park, which is in Sarasota, Florida on the West Coast. And we even made it all the way down to Bahia Honda State Park, which is down in the Florida Keys. And if you aren't familiar with how Florida is structured, the Florida Keys is very far. So where I live is in Central Florida, and even considering I'm in Central Florida, it's still about a 6-hour drive. So it's really far, in my opinion. With my new position, I did have to do a few work trips to Boston, and Johnny got to join one of those trips with me. And I joined him on one of his work trips to Phoenix, Arizona. And we traveled to San Miguel de Allende in Mexico to attend a beautiful wedding that Johnny was invited to. In February, we visited my cousins in Salt Lake City to do some fun stuff in the snow.
Oh my gosh!
So overall, we did a lot of flying this year. A bit of road tripping, but it was definitely a change of pace in comparison to the previous year. And most importantly, I have been able to participate in every family gathering this year and in general be more a part of their life. I am so grateful to have them in my life. Like I said in the beginning, it's been a wild 17 months. But overall, a positive one. My name is Clarissa, and I live in a shed converted to a tiny house in a beautiful oak hammock forest in Central Florida. And I can't believe I'm saying this, I will be building out another camper van. Woo! But this time, I will have a partner in crime to share all of the challenges and successes with. Stay tuned for the next video by pushing that subscribe button. We will be purchasing the van next week, and we'll be taking you along for the ride. And I almost forgot, I also got a dog named Bonnie. She was originally my sister's dog, but I babysat her, which turned into me keeping her permanently.